Hey lovelies, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. No, I haven't been punched in the face. Looks good though, right? Right? You want to learn how to do this? Well, that's what this video is about, obviously. Um, Now, I've done this using eyeshadow, but other options are available. Now, I have created this using eyeshadow because it's probably what most people will have, and you don't have to go out and buy anything extra for effects. But you do have options such as alcohol paint. So this is a Bruise alcohol palette. And although this is not specifically the Bruise palette, you can get something like this, which is a colour wheel. Now this is for burns, but you can also buy them for bruises, which will have all the necessary colours that you need to create a bruise. Essentially, bruises are made up of maybe 6 colours: red, purple, blue, green, yellow. Five colours. Various tones and shades within those colours, but essentially you need 5 colours to create a good bruise. So, you want to see how we do this? Let's do it. Okay then, guys. So the first thing I want to start off by saying is that you will want to get yourself some reference images in order to do this. And the reason I say that is because bruises do develop differently over time. So when they are fresh, they are more likely to be purple or blue. When they are starting to fade or they're coming to the end of their life, we are looking at more yellows and greens, right? So it is important to know what you are going for. Now then, I know I've mentioned that you can do this with the alcohol palettes. You can also do this with cream paints. I'm showing you how we do it with ordinary makeup because you don't need to buy effects makeup in order to do very basic effects. I am going to use the Be Perfect XL Pro palette. There is a remastered version of it, but this palette is used and abused. As you can see, I friggin' love it. So we are going to start out really simply with a faded bruise. Actually, we'll start off with faded, and then we'll build up to a fresh one. So basically, with a faded bruise, sorry, cowl neck, I'm too cold. Like I say, you're looking at yellows and greens. So start off with a yellow. You want it patchy, right? Don't just smear some colour on your skin. Don't try and blend. Nothing crazy. Because we are going for a bruise. We want it what is called mottled, right? Once you've got some yellow down, you can then strategically, and you do want to do these with pale colours as well. You don't really need neon. I've chosen the wrong green here. But and where your bruise is still, I'll say the impact zone, you still want a tiny bit more darkness there. So I like to add a touch of blue. Weirdly, I know. So, there you have it. There is a faded bruise. Like I say, use minimal colour. I've used a little bit too much shadow in order to make it show up on camera a little bit more. So because of that, in my eyes, it doesn't look great. But always remember, lighter colours around the outside, getting darker towards the centre. That's how we always rock a good bruise. So, you can also, as well, if you need to, add a touch of purple right in the centre. Now remember, we're keeping to that mottled effect, but we do want to keep it fairly concentrated within the middle. The thing with bruising, it's just about placement of colour, but it is really simple to do. Now then, let's do more of a fresh bruise, right? So, this is a bruise that we can actually use some red in. Minimally. You want a deeper red, not a bright red. And this, we're going to do this one round the eye. And this, once again, keep that mottled colour. Keep it patchy if you can. Just got to blend, blend, blend a little bit, smudge it out some. It doesn't have to be precise and perfect. Now, like I say, fresher bruises contain a lot more red and a lot more purple, and in some cases, a fair amount of blue. It depends completely what look you are going for. So, you can also, weirdly enough, use a reddish brown in order to help create some definition to some of those points. And like I say, purple, your deeper colours in the centre, but you don't want uniform colour. Not at all. A bit more brown going into there. And at this point, I am going to add some blues. And this is why I really like doing things out of makeup palettes such as this, because who knows what you may or may not need to add, as the case may be, to create something like this. Now, as well, developing bruises may sometimes contain some parts of yellow. I use that on things like black eyes for puffing up outer regions that didn't necessarily get the contact, but are likely to get a bit of a bruise. So, someplace like down here. Or even over here a little bit, because we will have some swelling going down. And what you do is you just keep building your colours up in this really bizarre way, I will say. It does feel very bizarre, especially when you're used to doing beauty makeup. And obviously, a lot of what you do in that is blending and bringing things together to form cohesion with no patchiness. Obviously, something like this is different because you're not just looking for perfection. In fact, for something like a bruise, the more imperfect you can manage to make it, the better for it. But yeah, the fresher the bruise, the deeper the colours. This is not a great bruise, by the way. Being tugged right in face. But yeah, it can see why a lot of people don't make videos on doing bruises because it's just all about, like I say, building, understanding your colours, getting a good reference point as well. But yeah, like I say, it's not difficult to create a bruise. This isn't my best bruise, I'm not gonna lie. I don't do black eyes that often. I do more bruising of the skin. Um, like I say, I do have fun doing makeup like this. Um, but yeah, that's essentially it for creating bruises. Um, small cuts. Do you want me to go into them? Things like that. I don't know. I don't know how good these videos are for you. So yeah, that's basically it. You've just learnt successfully how to create bruises using eyeshadow. Not as hard as what you'd think, is it? Like I say, it's just about your colour choices and how you want your bruise to develop. Do you want a fresh bruise? Do you want an older bruise? But yeah, guys, I actually do think that that is it. I was going to talk some about cuts, but I'll probably do that in the next video because this is already getting on for a bit. But yeah, that is quite literally how you create a bruise using eyeshadow. The technique, like I said, does apply if you also want to do this with alcohol paints or even with something like a bruise wheel. Just remember to put pull some holes out of your sponges so you can actually create that mottled texture. You don't need a solid square flat surface in order to do that. But yeah, everything else about the technique is still the same, no matter what products you are using. You want to mottle your colours, not make them uniform or solid. You want more of a patchy look. layer them up as you need to, get yourself a reference photo so you know what kind of bruise you are wanting to do, and just play around. It's makeup, it washes off, so if you get it wrong, just wipe it off and try again. Yeah. Anyway, that is it for the time being. I'm going to leave it there. Please do follow us on other social medias because, you know, it's Halloween season. Why wouldn't you? And I hope you join us for the next one, and I will see you soon. Bye.